And I would run into you the most random times.
Yeah.
And you were like out of it.
Yeah, so fucked up back then.
But like I get it. Like it's funny. I thought about me like because I was just I was drunk or high for a year straight. Like there wasn't a sober day in there. Like not
That
even
was
close.
like my last year.
Yeah.
Where it was, it was
I think that was like 2006
constant
for you,
blackout.
wasn't it? 2007.
Sorry, 2005.
2005.
That's when I was 27.
Yeah. So the last time I think we saw each other was
Maybe that year.
it was Cowboys. I think like face to face.
So and I
'Cause
didn't
you
work
came,
there that
like-
last year. Like I didn't work at Cowboys till after. I was working at Cowboys when I was fucked up, but I worked there when I was sober too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the last 2 years that I worked, I was sober there.
So 2006, 2007.
Maybe even 3 years. Yeah.
Okay, so
was sober.
I think it was then, because I think I ran into you a couple times and you were messed up, right?
Yeah,
And then at Cowboys, you didn't seem messed up
No, I wouldn't have been.
because your eyes were like.
I was only fucked up there for the first few months.
Yeah.
And then that's when I had the epiphany.
And what was your epiphany?
I wrote about it in my book. I talked about it a lot. I don't want to go into it again. But yeah, I had a divine
Just give me-
intervention. And God, I experienced God, or at least from my perspective, what God is.
Yeah.
And that changed my whole life. I was still really fucked up, but it changed. It started me on a different trajectory.
Well, it's like gives you hope for a better direction.
Oh yeah, because I was dying. I was in motion of dying.
Yeah.
And I believe I did die, and that's why I saw God.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Like
had
you
that.
believe like you overdosed?
I believe I had a heart attack or a stroke or something.
Interesting.
Because the pressure on my chest, it felt like there was 300 pounds. And I remember I went to get up off the couch after I
haven't
threw
we
up.
had this conversation before?
I know, right? I threw up all over myself, and I
my
was
gosh.
shaking so violently. First, I tried to chug back a whole bunch of, what was it? It was when I woke up, I barely made it down the stairs, and then Goldschlager, that was what was sitting.
yeah.
It even makes me want to throw up now. Because I was shaking so bad from the
Withdrawals.
withdrawal.
Yeah.
And I took it and started to chug it back, and then sat there for, I don't know, maybe a few seconds, and then I puked it up. And it was when I puked it up that I went, oh my God, I went to get a cloth,
Yeah.
but I couldn't get up. And that's when it was like there was 300 pounds sitting on my chest, and I went, oh my God, I'm going to die. I remember trying to reach for my phone.
Could you move your hand?
No, and that was when everything went white.
So I know what happened to you.
What?
Same thing happened to me after Canada Day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I went to the hospital. I called 911. Right?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, you had a stroke? And I said, no, a stroke is like mind. And he's like, yeah, your body was like, enough's enough. We're not continuing at this path. Like, because I was doing so much stuff. I couldn't, I peed my bed. So like after like Canada Day long weekend, didn't sleep, not an hour. Like drugs, alcohol, 4 days, hardcore. Come back, drive us all the way back, 5 of us, with a boat in tow, park in Marloop, go up to my building, don't even take off my shirt or shorts. I'm just done. Like everything I had was left on that road to get home in one piece. And I'm
You were
like,
wasted driving home?
yeah, oh yeah, I was wasted all the time. I was wasted full time. Like
And so then what happened?
I laid down on the bed like because I was exhausted, and then I had to pee, so I went to get up and I couldn't move. None of my body would move, and I couldn't. I tried so hard to move it. My whole body was paralyzed except for my head. I could only move my head to look at like what time it was, right? And I happened to have an old school alarm clock, or I wouldn't have known what time it was. And 30 minutes passed. I pissed all over myself. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the end. This is how I go. I'm like, holy shit. And all that. And I was like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden I could move. So I hit 911, went straight downstairs, and laid covered in piss in the corner, like of the grass, so they could take me to the hospital. And she said, the nurse there said, you went through, I've never seen someone go through 3 bags intravenous like that. Like it was like,
Intravenous what?
like you.
Oh,
plug it
like
in.
saline.
Yeah.
Oh, you were so
Yeah,
dehydrated.
she's like, it was like you were a kid having a Slurpee. Like it was like, the first one's gone and we're like, what? Put another one
Wow.
in. The second one's gone. Third one was like halfway and then still finished and we're like, what the fuck?
Wow, that's
Right?
crazy.
Like, and he said, you need to be really straight with me. Like, what have you been doing?
Who said that? The
The
doctor?
doctor.
Ah.
So I was like, coke, meth, ketamine, Molly, ecstasy, right? Alcohol, right? I think that's all of it. And he's looking at me like, you just listed that off like, no big deal. I'm like, you just asked me. Mm-hmm. He's like, you know how hard it is for us to get that out of people? And he just listed it.
Right.
And I was like, well, you asked me what I did. Like, my body just stopped working. You think I'm not freaked out?
Yeah.
My body's never stopped
Well,
working.
probably he's thought that because people that are fucked up at that stage are probably addicts wanting to get drugs from the hospital. So they wouldn't say,
Oh,
I did all this
yeah.
stuff because they want you to give them drugs.
Yeah. So I've come to like, I was trying to find out, like, what am I an addict of? Like, what is it? And I thought alcohol was it because it always starts with alcohol, right? I don't feel good, so let's have a drink, right? And then that leads to drugs, and that usually leads to gambling of some sort, right? And that could be gambling with my own body. It could be gambling with other people's body. It could be gambling with money.
What's that mean? What do you mean your body? Gambling with your body?
Well, having sex unprotected with somebody you don't know,
Oh, okay.
right? Or gambling in a fight.
Okay.
Right? I was in 8 fights in 2023.
Wow.
The last time I fought before that was 94.
Wow.
Right? Like 20, what is that, 20 years?
And always
30
when
years.
you're wasted.
Oh, yeah. Because you bump me and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. You just
I
go
wanna-
crazy.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I know that,
I'm
yeah.
gonna prove I'm the toughest, baddest man on the planet. I know I'm not even close now, but I was trying to convince the world I was. Maybe try to convince myself I was. Yeah. A funny story.
Yeah.
And Shane was like,
Oh, God.
like a lot of people.
I have to see him one of these days.
Yeah, a lot of people, like, I don't think you knew how many men, like, wanted to be with Jen. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, so anyways, I just thought it was really funny because, like, usually I didn't like the girl that all the guys liked,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there was a couple ones that was,
Yeah.
right? And you were one of them, but it was, it's not about, like, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I know.
Yeah,
It's
but-
just my natural girl reaction to go, aw.
Yeah, but like, I remember saying to Shane, I'm like, you're not man enough for her. And he's like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, you're still a boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you're not? I'm like, I'm transitioning to a man. You're not even, I don't know if you'll ever make it.
Yeah.
But I like, but I took care of him.
Shame.
But
I mean,
he's
he was my boyfriend in grade 6.
I know. And he's talked about that. He's like, she was my girlfriend. My first girlfriend, I think. Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
that was my first girlfriend. I'm
Yeah,
like,
same with him.
I'm like, I said to him,
We danced to Def Leppard Love Bites at a house
yeah,
party in
oh,
grade
you
6.
remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, of
that's
course.
so cool.
Yeah.
So I said to him, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Like grade 6 doesn't count, man. Like you're counting grade 6? Like I was bugging him, but like probably from an envious point of view,
Yeah.
right? Like truly, like I'm like, I want to be with her. I'm like, grade 6 doesn't count. You're an idiot. Like, like that's so loser. Like, and I'd be so mean. I was so mean. But like deep down, I never was. But like, it's interesting. But what do we want to do? We start from the beginning? Like, what do you want to do here? I've never done this before.
No, we're just talking. That's
Yeah,
how we
and
roll.
then
Yeah.
and then you put on a 2-hour 2-hour podcast.
Well, it depends, right? Like where it goes. I don't know. I don't
Okay, so
plan
my
anything.
thought process in my head is like kind of like start, like kind of rip through my life
Mm-hmm.
and then touch on it. But I think for me, what's really important, and I want to share with men specifically,
Mm-hmm.
is how I pointed fingers
Mm.
at every woman I've been with, right? So if we like look at my, the most significant relationship I've had was my marriage. And with my marriage, when I lost my job and then she asked for a divorce, it sent me into a tailspin that I've never been in before. And I've been in lots of tailspins.
How old were you think?
Well, this was 2022,
Okay.
right? So what is that like?
Just a few years back.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, a little over, because it was December 2nd I lost my job. December 3rd she asked for a divorce,
That's a lot.
and then I was in such a tailspin because like I would never married her if I didn't think she was forever. right? And I wanted to be married once, and that was it. And it was really important to me for that, because I saw so many people like, well, it's my third marriage or fourth. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I had so much judgment to those people
Yeah.
that failed.
Isn't that funny how we do that? And then
Yeah.
it happens to us and
Yeah.
we're like, fuck, shouldn't have said anything.
That's God saying, hey, how do you like humble pie? Here's another slice.
Exactly.
Right? So what happened then is I laid in the basement and just cried. And I didn't know what to do. And a good friend of mine, right, good friends of mine, Steve and Robin, flew me out to Toronto because they knew I was broken. And they flew me out to Toronto for like 10 days on the premise like they were going to get me a job and we're going to rebuild Sean back. But really it was just to get me out there to give me some love. So like that's kind of where the journey started, where these people popped in at like strategic times over this 2-year period, like exactly when I needed them, right? And whatever that was, like what capacity that was. So there I went back, and that gave me enough love that I could actually not destroy Christmas, right, for my kids. So I went back and we had a good Christmas. But on the 26th, it was like, here we go, like that, the tailspin, and I'm back into the tailspin. And it was like alcohol, drugs, gambling, sex, and just repeat. I couldn't go home because it was an empty place. I just couldn't.
Oh, she moved out.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I left them in the house, right? So,
yeah.
so I couldn't go home. And because I couldn't go home, I'm like, where do I go? What's open after 10? A pub, right? So I'd go drink. People are there, right? I would be the life of the party because I kind of perceived that was my value at some point, like entertaining people, and they'll love me if I can keep them laughing, and right? And it was really interesting. So I went on this cycle of like just repeat of that over and over. I'm not working. I have tons of money in the bank, so I have no
Obligation.
yeah.
You're just, yeah.
I'm lost.
You're free to be lost, which
Yeah,
is scary.
Yeah. Well, and I'm already a king of escape, anyways.
Yeah.
Right. Escapism is really my addiction. Instead of sitting with that pain, I'm like, nope. Phew, let's go alcohol. No problem. It's socially acceptable for me to crush shots and drinks. And then now it's like, hey, what drug do I want to do? And mine was like, cocaine's the easiest access, but my favorite was Molly. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I just loved how I felt. I felt like, as weird as it sounds, I felt like I was okay with myself then. It was probably the only thing I did that I felt like I was okay with myself. Like anyways, with that is, I'm like, I was blaming women for betraying me my whole life. So like my first girlfriend, my second girlfriend, my third girlfriend, right? And then I went on like from 18 to 28, it was like just reckless, like alcohol, drugs, gambling, sex. So I
Like, and you actually gambled though too, right? Like, was it, what kind of gamble?
mostly,
like a poker? Or?
yeah, like mostly Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
But I got really good at it. So I would like win, which was bad, because then I had more money to do more stuff, right? Like I would actually win quite a bit. And I'm not like the person that like didn't keep track of it, where they say they win when they win, but they don't tell you when they lose, right? Like I told you when I lost and I told you when I won, because that's how I kept an accurate, right, count of it. But like lots of money, like, a couple times, like you just thousands where you're putting on black and red on roulette, and like I played everything, but Texas Hold'em was the one I felt like I could.
Wait, is that your phone?
Yeah, I should shut it off. Anyways, so then.
But that was happening in 2022-ish.
Yeah, but it also happened like so there's this interesting pattern in my life,
Yeah.
and the interesting pattern that can't be denied is in '84 was one of the toughest years of my life.
84?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 9 years old, I'm in Westminster School,
Right.
right? And these guys are beating up me and a friend of mine whose name is Corey. And they're basically chasing us home from school and beating us up on a regular basis. So I stopped going. And I would sneak into Westminster Pool and go swimming for the day, and then rip home and pick up the phone because I was staying at my grandparents.
For the school?
So they wouldn't catch me, right? And then at the end of the year, I got busted. They said I need to repeat grade 4, and my mom's like, why? And like, because he's missed more days than he's made.
So did you tell your mom at that time what was
She
happening?
already knew.
Aww.
No, I did tell her that kids were bullying me, and she's like, you just need to.
Get him back.
No.
Oh.
She's like, walk away. Real man doesn't fight, right? So I got my mom telling me to walk away, turn the other cheek, and stuff like that. And eventually, my papa's like, no, you got to drill these guys. Enough of your mom's conversation.
Yeah.
So I punched he's like, you got to punch the baddest one of them all as hard as you can.
Yeah.
And what's funny is he yanked on my sleeve, and I was wearing my Michael Jackson jacket, beaded.
Yeah, I love
Right?
Michael Jackson.
And that's why I punched him.
Yeah.
If he doesn't pull that zip, if I don't think he wrecked my jacket, I don't think I have the courage to punch him. But when I do, his nose explodes. Right? So he's just like everywhere, and they run. And the issue was over, but I was closer to the end of the year by the time I got the courage to punch this guy. So we're like months of bullying. And the scary part was how powerful I felt when I punched him. Right? Because I felt so weak before. So then I started fighting. Because it felt,
That adrenaline.
yeah, I felt powerful for the first time in my life. I was a kid, like I was tiny. Right? Like I was white blonde hair and like weighed a buck nothing. I was small. So like it was an easy target for me to be picked on, but then I would like, so then I started like really showing interest in Bruce Lee. So I already had interest in Michael Jackson, but I started showing interest in Bruce Lee because Bruce Lee was like, Michael Jackson was cool, right? But Bruce Lee could kick ass.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's who I want to be. So first, like it's really interesting. My life, I always wanted to be somebody else. I want to be Michael Jackson first. I want to be Bruce Lee second. And then shortly after that, I wanted to be Michael Jordan, right? For a bit, Mike Tyson, right? Right? But again,
I even wanted to be Mike Tyson.
so it's just interesting. So like 84, in 94, my parents get divorced. This is my step parents now, right? So they get divorced. And when they get divorced, I stole the car a bunch of times, so she kicked me out. So that was the first time in my life I was homeless. I was living in Indian Battle Park, eating out of a Wendy's garbage bag.
What?
Yeah.
How old were you?
17.
No way.
Yeah. So then I started like hanging out with really shady characters, because who's gonna let you sleep on their couch or sleep on their floor?
No shit.
So that's when I started living on that house on 12th Ave, where there was always like huge parties. And it was 3 Seans lived there. Sean Brown.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone's like,
Did he die?
he's dead. Yeah, he killed himself. Yeah.
He killed himself?
Yeah, both of those guys are dead now. Wow. But like, everyone used to say, we're going to Sean's house. So my friends would say, we're going to Sean's house. His friends were Sean's house.
Yeah.
And his friends would say, we're going to Sean's house. Right? And they're like, that's Sean there. And he's like, no, that's not Sean. That's Sean there. It was like a joke for us. Like we had 3 Seans and we're all spelt Sean different. Right? I was S-E-A-N. He was S-H-A-W-N.
Yeah.
Sean S-H-A-U-N.
Oh my.
And they're like, you're the only one that doesn't spell it right, because like theirs is like Sean,
Yes.
and mine's Cian, right? So they would call me Cian. But yeah, so there was some crazy parties there, because that was like hash and acid days,
Yes.
right? And there were some big fights on that lawn, like Steve. That's where I found out like Steve Ninja. I was like, thought he was like, I called him Boy Ninja after
Yeah, he
that.
could fight.
Well, he was a ninja and he was so calm.
Yeah.
He didn't, like, I'm like, this guy isn't even worried, and there's like, he's just hanging out. He reminded me of Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he was like right, no offense, but he was like a smaller version, or not as famous version, or
Yeah.
as the kids say, a Dollar Tree version of Bruce Lee, but like, he was a ninja. I called him Ninja Boy. Well, that's what me and my friends called him, right? Because he kicked a cigarette out of Scott's mouth that day when he wanted to fight him. He jumped up, did like a spin kick, and the cigarette went flying. I'm like, did you just see that? Like, this guy's a ninja, like a living ninja. So I remember that was pretty cool. So then 94, right, that all happened. So in 94, my mom kicks me out and I'm homeless, right? And then in 2004, I'm in jail.
For what?
Hanging out with the wrong people. But what I was charged with at that time was I was charged with 4 counts of assault causing bodily harm, 4 counts of armed robbery, 4 counts of grand theft auto.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and
Those are serious charges.
yeah, and that was the first time I asked for help outside myself.
Who'd you ask?
God.
Ah.
Yeah, that's the first time. So what happened is I was planning my suicide, and I looked at the clock, and this was the first time I planned a suicide in my life. And I looked at the clock, and when I looked at the clock, the calendar is right beside it, and it said July 10th. And I was like, oh, my mom's birthday's tomorrow, so I can't kill myself
No,
today.
that would be the worst.
So I'm like, this is how out of mind I was. I was like, I gotta wait at least 3 days, because that's gonna make a massive difference. Like if I wait to the 14th, she'll be fine with me killing myself. But like if I do it today, that's not good, right?
Fuck.
So then I call her,
Yeah.
because I'm like, it's her birthday. I gotta call her, and kind of almost like in the sense I'm saying goodbye, like, right? Because
And you're in jail.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and my mom's upbringing was horrific.
Your mom's what?
Upbringing
Oh, okay.
was horrific. Like, for her to be alive today is like a miracle, like what she went through, right? Because like, it's interesting, but my Auntie Betty is the reason my mom and I have a relationship today, because she made me understand. She gave me enough information that I could understand why she was the way she was. But this day, she said the perfect thing.
Right.
She said, oh, I'm going to get emotional because I still do it. It happened like what is that, 21 years ago?
Yeah.
But she's like, there's nothing you'll ever be able to do that'll stop me from loving you. And it's exactly what I needed to hear that day, right? So on that day, I was like, and I think I started reading the Bible. I think I actually read it once already. Maybe I didn't, but I read it twice. Either I read it twice in 68 days or I read it twice in like 38 days, because you got a lot of time in there. Like you eat. If you're good, you get to go to the gym. If not, you're locked down, right? Anyways, so she said the perfect thing at the perfect time. And I swear like it bought me some time. And then I started reading the Bible, and I read the Bible, and I got like just tons of love out of it. Like the message to me was like, it was just full of love. Like, love you more, love, right, him more, love your enemy more. Like that's the ultimate challenge, right? Because, but like, I think the ultimate challenge actually is to love ourselves, right? Because once we can love ourselves at a really high level, everything else is easy. It's really easy to love. Like, if it's really interesting to me, like I really, like, it seems so simple, but when you're a kid, your grandparents always say you can't love someone until you love yourself. And you're like, oh, shut up, right? Like, I don't want to hear that again, because you don't want to hear it, because you deep down in your core know it's true, right? So like, you gotta love him, and you gotta have faith in him, and then you can love you, and then you have faith in you, and then you can love outside of you and have faith in them, right? And it's interesting because the more you love yourself, it's so easy to love others.
Well, you know what's interesting is that the reason that we do drugs and the reason we do alcohol is because we're so uncomfortable in our skin.
Yeah.
You know, and that stems from that lack of self-acceptance.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so it's like, I always look at like I don't feel good right now, so I need to escape this, right? And there's healthy escapes, right? Go for a run, right? Read a book, right? There's a lot of healthy escapes, but in our society, more people turn to the unhealthy ones.
Well, the ones that provide good numbing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Instant.
a book doesn't give you numbing. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah,
so it's
that's a good
like
point.
you want that slight comatose state that's going to take the edge off and get
Yeah.
you. It's going to happen quick.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know?
Yeah, like I think something, so what's interesting for me is sports was that for me before.
Okay.
Yeah, so sports was my escape before. Like, I drank once before I was 18, and I did drugs once before I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah. After sports was gone, I was a train wreck. I was trying to search that outside. I got so much outside validation from it. Like people talking about, oh, I saw you play. I saw you play. I saw that touchdown. I saw that.
Filling
I saw
your
that.
self-acceptance
Yeah.
cup up so that you didn't need to numb out.
Yeah. But they were filling it up. It was outside of me.
I know. It's,
Right?
yeah.
So it wasn't healthy because I got
Totally.
addicted to that.
But I'm saying
outside.
that's why you didn't do the drugs
Yeah.
until it ended.
Absolutely. So the sports are gone. Now what? So I started filling that cup with alcohol, right? Drugs, gambling, sex. Yeah. And I was really good at it. Like I was like pro. Right? If you could get paid for filling your cup with those four, I would, like, I think Motley Crue would be the only one that'd give me a run for my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
used to say the same thing about sugar. If I could be so healthy from eating sugar, like oh my God, I'd be
Yeah.
in amazing shape.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? And it's interesting because, so like Shane was also an escape because Shane was hilarious, and laughter is the best medicine, and he could make me laugh, right? Like I usually was the one that made people laugh, so it was nice to have someone could make me laugh. It was a break.
But he also, you had to take care of him quite a bit in certain ways, so that made you feel full in some
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, needed,
Needed.
worthy, enough.
Yeah. So aside from the funniness, which is nice sugar on top, it's more.
Yeah, it was a great combination because he is hilarious, and then like there's a lot of things I did that I'd love to reconnect with him, right? Because we've disconnected quite a bit. I was the best man at his wedding, but after that it went kind of down. But I really came down to like I was like done paying for everything,
I get that.
and he was done with my reckless ways because he met a woman of Mormon faith, right? And he was in love with her. So it was like this, like,
Clash.
yeah, because he's like, I want out of this. Like, he's insane, right? It was fun, but like, I'm going to lose her,
Yeah.
right? So then he's like, I got to make a choice. So he moved out, and he moved out without giving me notice. In a time that I just got my truck repoed and just lost my job working
So felt more abandoned.
again, right? So there's a theme of abandonment and betrayal my whole life, right? 2014 is when we're dealing with the affair that happened in my marriage, which was her. So 84, 94, 2004, 2014.
She was having an affair?
I caught her having an affair, and then we went to marriage counseling. But the brunt of it happened in 13, but the brunt of it hit me in 14. So 14 was another tough year. And then 24, asked for a divorce, right? And then 24 was like where I was at rock bottom going, okay, like, I got to dig myself out of here. Because if not, I'm going to abandon my children. Worse than my dad abandoned me when I was 2 because he didn't kill himself, right? He just ran away. Right? He went and got milk.
Who was the other Sean that hung himself in the backyard? Okay. I knew it because when you said his name, I thought, okay. And he was married with kids, wasn't he?
Realistically, we didn't talk about stuff other than partying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we both loved, like we were bad. Like we would
Right.
steal so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like we'd steal full outfits on a regular basis.
Outfits, what do you mean?
Like what we're wearing tonight.
Oh, really? Like go to the mall and steal stuff?
Yeah, it's Gentleman 3. Everywhere. And we were so good at it.
Really?
I would distract, he would steal, I would, vice versa.
Wow.
We would pimp ourselves out in clothes every weekend. People were
my
looking at us
God.
going like, those are like $300 shoes. That's a 200. Like, where do you get all your money? And we're like, we're hustlers,
Oh my God.
right? We were like stealing everything,
Yeah.
right? Because we were homeless. Like,
Yeah.
well, we didn't have anything. And he's like, and he used to always say, suckers work. Right? Suckers work for a living. I'm like, no doubt, right? Because you're just with it. Like, you just want to belong in some way, shape, or form. You know deep down it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you're
But you're
doing.
looking to justify.
And we're so good at it. Like,
Yeah,
human
yeah.
beings can justify murder. So
yes.
they can justify anything
Oh,
else.
yeah.
right?
For sure.
We can justify the nastiest things in our own mind.
Yeah.
but we can't in our own hearts. It doesn't. You can't. You can't convince the heart it's right. That's why we struggle with it. Like it's like you can convince it's like you can convince the brain, but the heart's like you feel guilty. You know it's wrong, but there's enough outside gratification, outside validation when you walk in that $300 golf shirt, right? And those big star jeans for $300 and right, like, and those AJ1s that everybody wants, and you're rocking them, the newest ones all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, how you doing this? I'm like, because we're the man. And I we never got caught. Like it was just crazy that we never got caught. Right? Like I remember this one series of Tommy Hilfiger golf shirts, and there was like 20 of them. We had them all. Right?
Yeah.
In mediums and the large. We had them all.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We were just, it's so crazy to look back at, like.
That life is like a different life.
Totally. But like the weirdest part is I would be like always kind to people less fortunate than me.
Yeah.
Which like and sometimes was tough. Like who was less fortunate than a kid that's living in Indian Battle Park eating out of a Wendy's
Indian
garbage
Battle Park.
Yeah.
That's a hardcore park at Lethbridge.
Yeah. That's where I slept. My mom had my bags on the front porch and she's like, you take the car again, I'm kicking you out. Took the car again and she kicked me out.
Wow.
Yeah. So tough love is
I was just gonna
how I was
say,
gonna describe her.
Are you okay with your mom today?
Very interesting, yes. But like I wasn't
For a long time.
I wasn't a month ago.
Ah, so it's recent.
Yeah, so my whole life I've been asking for the story, my story. She won't give it to me, won't give it to me, won't give it to me. So I asked my dad, and my dad has a tendency to embellish, wants to look like the hero because I haven't been in his life for a while, so I know this about him, so I want to hear her side because I know it's going to be like hard and fat. Like
Her
fat.
side of your dad and her?
Of, yeah, what, like why aren't you together? What happened?
You don't know that? They've
She
never
wouldn't tell
said
me.
that?
She'd never tell me. Right? So she actually sent it to me on June 16th. And June 16th,
Like this June?
yeah. Yeah, like
In a
it was-
letter?
No, she sent it actually to my dad, right?
But an email?
No, it was a text message to my dad.
Oh, okay.
And then she forwarded it to me, right?
Okay.
I said, like, we're never gonna have the relationship that either one of us want
Right.
if you're not willing to share my story. Because to me, that's all I'm missing.
Yeah.
And honestly, when she shared it, I was overwhelmed with emotion, and I felt 100 pounds lighter. It was
you just
over.
had clarity on a lot of things.
It was everything I needed.
Wow.
It was like this massive hole in my heart and my mind, and I'm a curious person by nature. I want to know. Why aren't you telling me? Like, well, how bad is it? I had it so built up in my mind that it was like, did he, like, in my head, I'm like, did my father rape you, and that's how I was
Right.
here? Like, what justifies that? Like, and she's
Yeah.
not like she's a ride or die woman, so she's not like flaky. So I was like, this isn't making sense. And what he's telling me is that she accused him of fooling around, and I'm like, accused you? You did? Right?
Yeah,
No,
what
she
is it?
accused me. She accused you? She wouldn't accuse you unless she knew. That she's like, right? So I'm just like all that. And when she shared it with me in full detail, like it was a super long text message. The second I was done reading it, I absolutely was overwhelmed with emotion. When you really cry, your eyes are open and the water's just flushing out like that. Right? Have you had that experience?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like people cry with the eyes, right? I always say that's stage 1. But like stage 2 of crying, your eyes are wide open and it's just flying out of you. Nose, everything. Like it's just like your body's getting rid of all of it as fast as it can. It's like almost like it's like the floodgates. When people say the floodgates are open, I think it's like your body purifying it of all that big guilt and that shame. Right? This is our chance to get it all out. Let's go. Because it was, and then I sent her a video of me crying to show her how like massive that was to me. And I think if she would have known how massive it was to me, maybe she would have shared it sooner. But I think really what she was trying to do was protect my relationship with my father. But it didn't really affect it because he's human. And I kind of knew what it was anyways. I just needed to hear it. I needed her to validate my own thoughts. All that, like it's almost like my root of all my trauma is gone.
And you still take it day by day, though.
Yeah, of course.
Do you go
It's
to
not even
programs?
No, but I did. I went to Alcohol's Anonymous 3 times. I went to Cocaine's Anonymous.
NA, yeah, Narcotics Anonymous, yeah.
Narcotics
I love how you
Anonymous.
call it Cocaine Anonymous.
well,
Fuck,
'cause-
that's exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's like Gambling Anonymous, right?
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
there's Sex Anonymous. And I went to all of them.
Wow.
Do you know Sex Anonymous? You have to go through an interview process to get there.
You do?
Yeah, the other ones you can walk in. Think about why.
Because people are there to fuck people?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? That's how it is in AA too. Unfortunately, like
Yeah.
guys have to get talked to sometimes because women are really vulnerable in those
Yeah.
states when they're coming in.
For sure.
To
Opportunity.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like what was that comedy where they like, yeah, let's go meet some chicks at the funeral. Let's go
Yeah.
crash at the wedding.
Yeah,
crasher.
Wedding Crasher. Yeah, they go to weddings and he's like, guys.
Yeah.
That's where Will Ferrell says,
Yeah.
no, funerals.
Funerals. That's where it's
They're
at.
broken,
Yeah.
right? They're open to anything. And you think how dark that is? Like, that's the darkest shit ever, right? Like, you just lost the love of your life.
Yeah.
Here's my chance. Right? And he's like, how do you think I found her? And he's in the
know.
house that she's a sugar mama.
I know. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it is.
No,
funny.
you're laughing because it's dark humor sometimes, like, is what really kind of like breaks it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it is dark.
Yeah, that
And-
was a good show though.
Oh, it was an
funny.
amazing show. Shane thought we got ripped off because we
Right.
crashed weddings.
Really?
And he's like, this is us.
Really?
I'm like, you think we're the only 2 guys that crash weddings so we could get free food, alcohol, and women?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you think we were the first one to think of it? He's like, yeah, kinda. I was like, no, right? Like, lots of guys have done
see,
it.
and I've never even heard of it until I seen the show.
Yeah, we did it. But there's like food and drinks and
Yeah.
there's women there.
Oh my god.
Like everything. You're not paying.
Yeah.
It's helped me because I had to pay for Shane all the time. So I'm like, this was free. Like, let's do this. Right? And we did it similar. Like, we'd like dress up and
Yeah.
I'd dress him up and we'd go there like we were supposed to be there.
Oh,
and I was really good at pretending I was supposed to be there all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, in my whole, like, there's so many, like, that made me think of another fun story. But so my friend Sam, we've been friends since grade 6.
Yeah.
And Sam is like the dorkiest guy you could meet. Like, he just screams it, but he's like so quality,
Yeah.
right? So like, to give you an example, the first time I met Sam, he was reading a book. I think it was Stephen King, but like everyone's playing basketball or hockey or whatever, and he's sitting on a bench reading a book. And I'm like, what are you doing? I had to, what happened is we played basketball together because a guy that I was beating said, I said to him, I could beat him with anyone in the gym, and he pointed at the kid in the book. That's how we made friends. I don't even know if Sam knows that, right? But that's how we made friends. And I just couldn't lose him after that, right? He's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I was like,
Right.
oh my gosh. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like so caught up in being cool that I'm like, I can't be seen with this guy.
Yeah.
But he's the coolest guy I know because he's so real.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand that then.
Yeah.
I didn't understand cool was real.
Yeah.
Cool is fake.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up with. Like, cool is fake. So I was like faking it like everybody else.
Right.
Right? And we got caught up in how fake we were. And nothing like now. Like, holy crap, it's so fake.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get more likes when I post me crying than I get anything else.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh my gosh, is he okay? Because no one posts the
Yeah.
bad. And I wasn't
Yeah.
bad. I was just sharing that I have bad days too. I'm not just sharing my highlight reel anymore. And that came from
Right.
Sam.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm bouncing all over a little bit, but yeah, so it's just, it's interesting how many, I think deep down inside me, I always like believed in God, like my deep subconscious, but my ego is like, I don't need him. I'm going to be great on my own. Like, I'll figure it out on my own, right? It's so weird, but like, but yeah, so the 16th happens and I'm just like, I don't need any escapes now. I'm not saying like ever, right? But I don't even think it's day by day. I think it's situation by situation, right? Like, met up with a friend yesterday for dinner and she was trying to like, hey, have a drink, right?
Oh, fuck.
Right? And I'm like, yeah, right? And you got to think of like a beautiful woman, the temptation of that, wanting to say yes, the peer pressure. I'm like, I'm good. I'll have another sun brew. That's my go-to now. Do you
Yeah.
know what those are?
No, what is it?
It's the 0% alcohol version of Corona.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love them.
Yeah.
I
I
actually
love
think
the
they
taste of beer. So,
yeah,
like,
so that you gotta
non-alcoholic
try
beer.
that one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so good. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Even alcohol or not alcohol.
Yeah.
It's my favorite beer. It tastes better than Corona.
Wow.
Yeah, like they nailed it, right? So
okay.
like and anyway, so yeah, so it's just like I'm clear, clean heart, clear eyes, can't lose. Just keep saying that to myself. That's from a football movie, but I changed it a little bit. But clean heart, clear eyes, can't lose.
Okay.
And I say that to myself all the time. Keep my heart clean, right? Keep my eyes so I'm not dazed on alcohol, drugs, right?
Well, it's amazing though, like when you do get into that, like you think about your whole life, like from the time you were a kid,
Oh yeah.
and also what was just being simply downloaded and then uploaded into your file from your mom and her trauma, because even if you didn't know about it as a child, it's still in you, it's a part of you. So you're being influenced by everything that's ancestral
Yeah.
without having a necessary memory attached to anything, but just the bodily reactions to certain things. That's why a lot of people, I think, say, I don't know why I'm doing this, and I don't know how to stop, and
Yeah.
I wish it, why did I start going down this path? And I really believe things can get turned on in our DNA script, that it's like epigenetics just switched on in the environment. You got into a car accident and all of a sudden it triggered something after that you couldn't get out of. You couldn't get off that hamster wheel. You broke up with somebody. That trauma sparked something else. And,
Yeah. Grief and loss are a
yeah.
nasty combo.
And it's not to say, oh, well, that's not mine because I inherited it. Everything is ours
Yeah.
to see our way through
Until we
in
work
this
through it.
lifetime.
Yeah.
So,
Until we work through it and let it go, right? Not let it go in a sense, work through it and take away its power, right? But like life's insane. Think about it. You have two people that have no business having a child in 99% of the cases in the world because they're mess. Like we're all broken in some way, shape, or form. They're trying their best to bring up a child into this world based on the things they learned from their parents, that learn 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 from their parents, and so on. So like all the good you'd like to think you're holding on to, but you're also the bad, right? I can think of a ton of times I said I'm not going to do that, and then I'm doing that, and even I was committed not to doing that with my kids, but I'm doing it, raising my voice, intimidating them to get my way, right? Instead of loving them my way, I'm like, because like love is the most powerful thing in the world, but if love's the most powerful thing in the world, hate's right there too, right? And fear's another really powerful motivator, right? Like so, it's really interesting when you look at it. Is anyone can be a mother and anyone can be a father, almost anyone. I don't want to offend anyone because some people struggle with that, but like almost every man can be a father and almost every woman can be a mother, and there is no course or instruction manual how to do it, right? Really. So like you are always trying to be better than your parents before you, but if your parents were horrific, you're not going to be
what's your relationship with your kids now?
good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How old are they?
17 and 15.
Holy shit.
I know, right?
That's crazy. They're grown.
Yeah. But like, it started with me. Relationships are a struggle when you don't have a great one with yourself. And my therapist, Lindsay, is amazing.
Yeah, you've mentioned her before and we've talked.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here without her. I thought like there's a pretty good list of people I wouldn't be here without it. Right? Like we connected at a time that I needed right, some love. That's how I look at it now, right? But like we connected, what was that? Right after, right? So that would have been like 2023, right?
Yeah.
And just sharing some different dreams or visions or like thoughts, right? Interesting things, right? It's just I think of Lindsay for sure, my sister, both my brothers, my kids, right? My Auntie Betty, right? A friend Gildo, never expected. He called me every week for a year.
Wow.
Like, just, how you doing? Guy named Logan out of nowhere, Steve and Robin, I guess. You know, like the list, there's like quite a few people that could seriously take credit for me still being here.
And isn't that funny? Because you feel like you have nobody when you're ready to go. You're
Yeah.
ready to get the fuck out. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't have anybody. And then all of a sudden, people start surfacing when you get down to that lowest point. Not all the time, because some people.
The real people show up,
Yeah.
right? The real people show up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Sam. Another one. Always wanted to go to NBA All-Star
Do I
game.
know who Sam is?
Probably not. He's
No.
like, he used to work at Moxie's.
Okay, so but
Right.
Lethbridge.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's Scatman is his nickname.
Yeah.
He's like, and no offense to him, he's like probably the dorkiest guy I've ever met. Like, he's a white version of Steve Urkel, right?
God, we got the
Someone's mowing our lawn.
yeah, it's gardeners.
Yeah,
So they're putting other stuff in along the side where you parked.
yeah.
So yeah, obviously just blowing other shit up over there.
I don't know if I'll ever do that again.
What?
Pay people to do the stuff
Yeah.
because,
But you see that hill?
yeah.
You need somebody. You ain't fucking pushing a mow along. Are you kidding?
John
Up that
Deere.
fucking hill? Like, you can't even ride a fucking John. You have to
Yo.
push it. They'll fall over if you're in a John Deere fucking
like
tractor.
riding one, you think?
Yeah, it's a fucking hill like
Let's
this.
check it.
Like,
Yeah, you're probably right. Right?
Oh,
How do
yeah.
they do it?
I've never watched them. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out today. But that's one of my funniest dreams is like I want to have a John Deere lawnmower. I want a yard big enough that I have to ride a lawnmower to do it.
Right?
Yeah, but I want a house small enough that no one can get lost in it.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need all this room.
You don't need any of
But
this.
I love that about the yard. It just gives you that, I don't know, it's like my sister,
More
Angela.
land, less house.
Yeah. Like she spent so much time, her and her husband,
Which
just
sister are we talking about?
Angela, just
Okay.
creating this sanctuary for their backyard. Because we never had a backyard growing up. Like we had that
Yeah.
big, huge
And
house,
other
and there's a
people gave me
slab of
one.
concrete with a trampoline there. Like we never really had a yard in any of the places we've ever lived.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm getting a fucking yard. And she says it's her sanctuary. So I get that. It's like you
Yeah.
just want
Yeah,
the yard and you
yeah.
want a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I want as much land and a small house as I can get away with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, it's interesting because society sells you on this idea,
Yeah.
and I've had it twice. Two
Yeah.
times in my life I've been a millionaire. Had everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Right? Last time I had the beautiful wife, the 2.2 kids, the
Yeah.
2.2 dogs, right? You know, a 2-story walkout on a golf course,
Mm-hmm.
right? A place at the lake,
Mm-hmm.
right? $300,000 boat,
Mm-hmm.
right? I had it all from a materialistic point of view.
Mm-hmm.
God took it all twice. He's like, it's not the answer. I thought it was the answer because I was a poor kid and my parents always fought about money.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, money's the answer. If I'm rich, all my problems are gone.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. They're bigger,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our bills at one point, I think, were like 15 grand a month,
Wow, that's crazy.
right? It is
Yeah.
crazy. But
Yeah,
like
that's
we're
crazy.
trying to fill that holes.
Yeah.
We're trying to fill those holes inside.
Why do you think God took it?
What do you mean?
Well, you said God took it all.
Yeah, because I said 3 days before a rock went through the grill that I said that the only thing I have left now is my truck, and I love my truck.
Mm,
I had a lot more than my truck left.
mm,
Only materialistic thing I had left
mm,
was my truck,
mm.
and a rock went through the radiator 3 days later.
That smell that scared me. The dog.
Oh yeah,
I forgot if he was there.
yeah, just snoring, just ripped out a snore, nice and relaxed, right? But yeah, so it wasn't covered
Mm,
because I was driving without insurance,
mm,
so that wasn't covered. It wasn't covered under warranty,
mm.
and the bill's $45,000 to replace it.
Wow. Wow.
If that would have happened before my mom shared my story,
Mm,
I would have been drunk, high, at the casino, and hooking up that night,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I laughed because it was after. I laughed. I was like, okay, I got you. I know what you're saying, right? You're telling me stop chasing, right, the riches that don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
All that matters is the relationship you and I have, the relationship you have with yourself, relationship you have with your parents, your kids, right? And now I didn't know if my mom and I would ever have a good relationship again.
Mm.
And now I think we'll have one better than we've ever had.
Mm.
It's crazy.
Wow. That is so amazing.
Yeah. And then I look at my stepfather was always great,
Mm.
but as soon as I found out I had a dad and he wasn't it,
Mm.
I treated him like shit,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, you're not my real dad. Like the movies. It's really interesting when you look at your life. My life is a movie. It's a bunch of movies, right? And like they inspired me in so many different ways too. Like I look at like Back to the Future.
I love that
I
show.
want to be Marty McFly like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I dressed like him.
Mm.
Like exactly what he was wearing, I was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
The same outfit. No matter how good or how bad. Calvin Klein underwear, I wore it because he did.
Yeah.
Right? Marky Mark helped that
Yeah,
face too.
I was actually thinking him when you
Yeah.
said Calvin Klein
Who
underwear.
wasn't
I was
thinking
like,
Marky? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Marky Mark.
Yeah.
The hottest guy under 5'6".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he under?
Oh, he's short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me feel good as a man.
Yeah, right?
He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but like I remember, there's certain things that happen in your life, but you just now I know they all happened for a reason. I was just mad they're happening, but like there's so many things.
Yeah.
Like jail had to happen.
Yeah. How long did you go away?
I was only 68 days. I never got convicted. Or
That's still long enough to wake you up.
Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend tough like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
It was the hardest 68 days of my life before my divorce.
Right.
My divorce was, I thought jail was tough. Divorce almost took me 4 times. 4 times I planned my own suicide. Within 12 months of her asking for divorce. Jail, I planned it once. My mom saved the day. Right? 4 people had to save the day the next 12 months. Right? It had to be like, so I'm like, what are the chances that's a coincidence? Like, I'd almost have to be brain dead.
Yeah, no such
to
thing.
be like,
yeah.
like,
No.
so I think how I look at it is I climbed to the top of Mount Everest and I was there feeling really good about myself and how awesome I was. And God flicked me off the peak of that all the way down to the bottom of that mountain into a crevice. And he's like, wrong. And I climbed all the way back up. And he's like, okay, I'm going to have to flick you harder this time. And he just fires me in the deepest, darkest crevice this time. He's like, hopefully you figure it out, because what you think it is, you're wrong. I always thought it was outside validation. I was chasing it like nobody, like crack, right? Like someone to tell me I'm good instead of just believing it. And now I was never alone till then. Never. I lived with my parents. The only other time I was alone was homeless in Indian Battle Park, or homeless last year when I was homeless for 5 months in my truck. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been homeless twice. My Auntie Patty shared something that I was concerned about homeless people when I was 6 years old.
You were concerned about them when you were 6?
Yeah. Like she said that I said something like, we got to figure out how to solve this homeless thing. And she said something really cool. Like, we knew you were going to do something great because of that. And I was like, I haven't done anything great. I've done the opposite of great. Like, I've like butchered it my whole life. So now I'm like, what is my divine purpose? And I wouldn't have done this today. Like, as you know, I called you today, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of God,
No.
where?
Yeah, God's like, like honestly, what I was thinking,
divine.
What I was thinking in my mind, like just being brutally transparent, is like, who do I want to take for lunch today? And then I'm like, Jen, because we talked about it like last week and we were going to do it. And we've talked about it a few times. We're going to do it, but we never.
I know.
Right.
And now here we are.
Yeah. And then you're like, you should do a podcast with me. I'm like, no. Well, my first answer is like, maybe one day. Like instantly I'm like, no. right? I don't want to be recorded for life, right?
Right.
I want to do more push-ups and sit-ups before that happens. Can I get 3 months to get in better shape and
Right.
like maybe get like a inversion table and be a little bit taller and all this
Yeah.
stuff? Like you want to be your best if it's going to be,
Totally.
yeah. And then like, Sean, it's June. It's the perfect time to do it, right?
Yeah.
Because mental health should be a focus every month,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I do believe that I need to touch as many people as I can and tell them, put all your energy, right? Believe that someone substantially wiser and more powerful than you are, right, is guiding your journey. Be open to that, right? Be open to that and be like, okay, why is this happening? And have faith that it's for good reason. Even if it's sweet or bitter, because we need both, right? We don't change unless there's pain, right?
That's really profound.
We don't, right? And some people need way more pain than others, myself. So it's given me ability to connect with people that I never had before. My Auntie Betty just actually said this the other day. She said to me, she's like, I don't deserve all the stuff I've been through. And I'm like, you're not wrong, right? But you went through it for a reason. And she's like, yeah, right? She's like, angry, goes, you can put that reason up your ass, kind of thing. And I love my Auntie Betty. Like, my Auntie Betty is my favorite.
Yeah, it sounds
Right.
like my kind of girl.
Yeah, well, she's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
she's just like,
Say it how it is.
she's going to give it to you.
Yeah, I
and
love
it's
it.
going to be like right between the eyes, and it's going to hurt
Yeah.
sometimes.
Be ready to not be ready.
Yeah, but I said to her, I said, if you didn't go through the life that you did, I wouldn't be here today because you wouldn't have been able to connect with me in my darkest hours then. And I think she said, you fucker. Because her whole life she was committed to saying that she doesn't deserve it and that it doesn't make sense to her. And then I said that, and she's like you little fucker, right? But like, I love her, right? Because she's always one of my favorite things she's ever done. We just had Paisley, right? We're at a family event. I
And
don't know if-
Paisley's your daughter?
yeah.
How old
Paisley's
is she?
like-
The younger or older?
Yeah, she's the oldest.
Okay.
So she's just born. So Tracy and I are there, and she starts to give us advice, right, about it. And she stops herself, and she's like, you know what? A ton of people are going to give you advice. Basically, tell them to go shove it up their ass.
Yeah.
Listen to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what your intuition. You have everything you need to be a good parent. The people outside you are the ones that are going to screw it up. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. Your head will be spinning. Right? Tell them to shove it up their ass and just do with what you two think. And my ex-wife at that point said, I like her. Right? Like, that's what you like. Right? Like, unsolicited advice
Yeah.
is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
If I start giving you advice right now and you didn't ask for it,
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm smarter than you.
It's
I'm
true.
superior.
Yeah.
You're a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not helping you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confirming that you think you're not enough and you're not worthy. So I'm confirming it by giving you unsolicited advice. Right? Now, if you ask for it,
It's different.
totally different.
I agree.
Right? So I ask him for guidance. I'm like, you know how stubborn I am. Make it obvious. Like, if you got to slap me across the face with a 2x4, do it. Right? Like, make it super obvious. I don't want to miss it. Right? Because I've had blinders on for quite a while. So, but yeah, it's interesting. But I wanted everybody that touched my life at my 50th birthday, which is just around the corner, and that list is so long. I could probably have my own concert at it. Of people that touched me,
Yeah.
right? Like Corey Shields was the kid that me and him
I
got beat up with.
remember that name.
Yeah, Blaine Sherwood.
Oh, Blaine. Yeah.
Blaine was like, it's okay to like Michael Jackson. We were getting picked on. We both liked him.
Yeah.
There's a unity there.
I love Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but Blaine Sherwood,
Yeah, he was awesome.
yeah, his
great
parents
guy.
are awesome, but he
Me and Blaine dated in grade 5.
quit bragging about all the guys he dated.
I know, right?
Grade 5.
I think we just held hands.
Yeah,
That
like-
was what
again,
we did.
That
Yeah.
doesn't count.
Yeah.
Just kidding,
know.
Blaine.
I
It
know.
counts. Good for you.
Yeah.
No. But no, like so I think of like him, Mr. Yamagishi,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sean Smith,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like just guys like made me laugh,
Yeah.
right? And like this, I'm talking like I could go for days, like Richard Ment, Chad Johnston,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Well,
Rick
this will be
McLaren.
interesting at your birthday if some of these guys come
Well,
there.
some of them will show up, but like you go and invite you, like you reach out to them, they're like, I'm
What?
reaching out to a guy I haven't talked to since
Yeah.
grade 4.
Yeah, but
So
that
he's
would be
like-
the best
he's
like,
like,
ever. I want
Are
to
you
see
crazy?
these guys. Yeah.
Are you nuts?
Sean
Right?
Smith. I want to see Sean Smith. He lived right down the block from
Yeah,
us.
Sean
Dame-
Smith.
I think he's
Yeah.
passed, right?
Yeah, too. Me
But
and
he's
him, I
passed.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Remember?
But we used to dominate at Foursquare. Do you remember Foursquare?
Yes, yes.
And Tetherball?
Yeah, tetherball.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, like that's like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, bring it.
Yeah.
We were like so good.
Yeah.
And then Sean Smith was like kind of tough, so I felt tougher.
Boxer. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt tougher.
Yeah.
Right? Like he'd
That's
stand
so
up to
funny.
teachers, and I'm like, this
Yeah.
guy's badass.
Badass.
Like,
I know.
right? But he was softy.
Yeah.
The toughest, baddest men on the planet
Yeah.
are the biggest teddy bears.
Totally.
Yeah, like
Totally.
if
It's
and
funny.
I connect with them. Like I have the fun. Here's a funny story.
Okay.
The 2 biggest dudes in Kelowna show up.
Yeah.
Massive, like mountains.
Hang on. I think she just took a pee.
Oh yeah,
Or she's going to pee. Because, Mel,
is that her backup alarm? Or
did
is
you
that
pee? Come here. Don't pee. Hang on.
She's like easy for you to say.
Hang on. Oh, she did poop here.
We're going to commercial break.
Anyways. Well, let's wrap it up because,
Yeah, it's been long.
yeah, it's already 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
I got to
let's
go
wrap
teach
it
a
up.
class soon.
Okay,
But
so how are we gonna wrap it up?
Sean, come back and we'll do a part 2.
Okay.
Oh, so good to see you.
It's always good to see you.